Title: My wife's family made me sleep in the garage while her brother lived like a king in my house. One winter night, I left quietly, taking everything I paid for with me. The next morning, they were freezing. The night was colder than usual. Frost had crept up the window panes of the garage where I slept, my so-called room. The walls smelled of oil and dust, the air heavy with my own breath. Inside the main house, laughter echoed, her brother's voice the loudest of them all. My wife's family had made sure I knew my place. They said it was temporary. They said the house needed to accommodate family. But months had passed, and I was still sleeping next to the car I'd bought. When I first met her, she was soft-spoken, gentle, the kind of woman who made you believe in peace after chaos. We built our life brick by brick. I worked double shifts, saved every rial, and when we finally bought this house, I thought it was ours. But once her family moved in, everything shifted. Her brother, unemployed, loud, and titled, claimed the master bedroom. Her parents took the guest room. I got the garage. She told me to understand that they had nowhere else to go. So I did. For a while. I watched him wear my shirts, drive my car, eat food I paid for. And every night when I'd walk into that freezing garage, I'd whisper to myself, "Respect is earned, not rented." The betrayal wasn't a moment, it was a pattern. Her tone changed. Her brother started making decisions about my house, my money. He'd host friends, use my credit cards, order new furniture online. When I confronted her, she said, "You're being dramatic. Family comes first." Family. That word burned in my chest like acid. Then one night, while they were all in the living room, I overheard something that ended any trace of mercy left in me. Her brother laughed and said, "He's weak. Let him sleep with the rats. He won't do anything." And she laughed with him. Not out of pressure, not to keep peace. She laughed like she believed it. That's when I decided. I wouldn't argue anymore. I wouldn't shout. I wouldn't warn them. I'd just leave. But not empty-handed. For 3 weeks, I prepared silently. I started with the paperwork. The house, the car, the furniture, everything was under my name. Every bill, every receipt, every signature led back to me. While they slept, I documented everything. Their freeloading, their dependence, their disrespect. Then I started moving things, small at first. The gold, the important documents, my clothes, my tools. I rented a small place across town under another name. By the time I was done, they didn't even notice that half the valuables were gone. They were too comfortable, too sure I was harmless. That was their mistake. It was the coldest night of winter when I made my move. I came home late. The garage was colder than a tomb. The house lights were blazing. They were watching TV, laughing. I stood there for a long minute, staring at that glowing window, letting the frost bite my fingers. Then I smiled. Inside the breaker box, I flipped every switch off. Total blackout. The house went dark. Their laughter stopped. I heard confusion, then shouting. I walked to the main gas valve, mine since I paid for every connection, and turned it shut. Their heaters, their stoves, their comfort, all cut. Then I locked the main gate, got in my car, and drove away. By morning, the house was an icebox. The first call came around 6 a.m., my wife's voice shaking with anger. "What did you do?" she screamed. "There's no heat, no water, everything's gone." I didn't answer. Then her brother called, cursing, shouting threats. I blocked him. They didn't know that the utility accounts had all been transferred under my private business address a week before. The house, their precious castle, was legally in default. By afternoon, I received the message I'd been waiting for. A photo. They were outside the house, bundled in blankets, shivering. locked out. The landlord, me, had repossessed the property for non-payment and unauthorized occupancy. Homeless. The king had lost his throne. I didn't post anything. I didn't boast. I just watched. Within days, the news spread through the neighborhood. The once proud family now begging relatives for shelter. My wife tried calling again. She sent voice notes, apologies mixed with insults, confusion mixed with desperation. I listened to every one of them, then deleted them all. Because forgiveness isn't kindness, it's surrender, and I was done surrendering. Weeks later, I drove past the old house. It looked smaller now, colder. There was a for sale sign on the gate. I stopped for a moment. Through the window, I saw her brother sitting on the curb, wrapped in a thin jacket, looking lost. My wife wasn't there. She'd gone back to her parents, who were blaming everyone but themselves. I didn't feel joy, just balance. Every insult, every night I froze in that garage, it all added up to this silence, this justice. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's quiet, precise, like turning a key and walking away. You don't need to see them break. You just need to know they did. Now, I sleep in warmth. My new home is smaller, simpler, but it's mine. Every brick, every chair, every breath of air feels earned. Sometimes I still wake up in the middle of the night, half expecting the cold concrete floor beneath me. Then I remember. I left that version of myself behind. The man who begged for respect. The man who tolerated humiliation. He died in that garage. What walked out that night was something colder, sharper, free. So if you ever find yourself being treated like a guest in your own home, remember this. Respect isn't given. It isn't begged for. It's taken back. One quiet night at a time. Respect is earned, not rented.